Baby mode. The baby mode. The baby mode. The baby mode.
Malison: The Cursed City is a fantasy survival horror RPG published by Devolver Digital, currently in development, in which you investigate a sinister city filled with hundreds of grotesque monsters, demons, and weirdos. It focuses on exploration and atmosphere. Its main influences are both classic Western RPGs like Baldur's Gate, Japanese RPGs like Final Fantasy, as well as survival horror games such as the Resident Evil and Silent Hill series. As you sneak through the city, you encounter all sorts of strange characters, many of which you can speak to, trade with, recruit to your cause, steal from, or even attack if you so choose. You can approach this game in a million ways. It's up to you how you plan to survive. Your actions may lead to wealth, disaster, betrayal, or may even lead to uncovering some of the city's darkest secrets and the game's many hidden endings. The main character is no powerful hero. You awaken in the city transformed into a weak, frail goblin and may need to rely on desperate measures for your survival. You will likely need help from other survivors you meet, and it is up to you to decide who you trust and recruit to your cause. Combat is in a classic turn-based style with a focus on managing scarce resources and building unique strategies by recruiting all sorts of different party members, equipping them, and teaching them new skills. Monsters move closer to you during combat, increasing the threat and tension as they begin using their more devastating attacks. You do not want them too close. I stream development work of Malison Tuesday to Friday at 7 p.m. EST on Twitch. I also have new development update streams on Sunday nights at 8 p.m. EST. There is also a Discord you can join for the game. Check below.
All right, folks. Oh, I forgot to post the links. I forgot to post the announcement. All right, folks, tonight it's going to be kind of a short stream because I got a lot of work to do. That's going to be very tedious to do on stream, so got a lot of work to do that I was hoping to finish earlier today, but I didn't have time. So I'll make kind of a short stream tonight and then just get right back to it. It is spreadsheet stuff I need to do, yeah. Yep, it is. So yeah, I'm gonna stick to just bug fixing for the actual stream, and then I'll return to the spreadsheet stuff afterwards. All right, folks. Let's get to work. Let's get to work. But yeah, so let's go look at the bugs. Over here we got Aster's strategic huddle persists after combat ends. Oh. Let's fix that. Strategic huddle. So that is strategy 262. Yeah. Yeah, it should be removed at combat's end. No, the stuff I need to go back to is for the localization. I'm trying to organize the localization stuff so it's not. I'm trying to like automate merging similar lines, and I'm trying to, like, when it extracts text from the game, trying to set it like to make it set aside like character names so they don't have to like retranslate the character name every time it appears. Trying to like split up the games. All the dialogue found in maps, I'm trying to split it up into their separate floors instead of, so that it's not just one giant block, but like each floor, yeah, is just split into its own file. Trying to figure out also another way, because one of the biggest chunks is the common events, because the common events just has a lot of dialogue, a lot of text in it. And I'm trying to figure out how exactly I want to separate it. I'm thinking maybe all of the dinner talk could maybe just be moved to somewhere else, to a separate file, since that's like a huge chunk of it. I could actually figure that one out right now, since it's a little more interesting. I mean, you know, relatively speaking. This is all still very... So you can see here everything that's extracted. And yeah, common events are the biggest chunk. This is all of the common events extraction, and yep, there is 1,500 lines. 1,500 lines. Oh, I also need to I need to wrap all of the every use of curly brackets I need to mess with too. That's a little frustrating. I need to switch all of these curly brackets for square brackets. I'll probably try to do that like automatically, so because the translator like hard codes certain things for curly brackets, and yeah, it's... So I'm yeah, I'm gonna need to go over all of the curly brackets here. But anyway, but yeah, so I'm trying to think of how I want to separate this. Right now we're starting with simplified Chinese as the first language, and that's kind of like a test language. We're just trying to see if, you know, if the way that I set up the localization has any issues, and you know, this is just a unusually large amount of text to localize for the team. So, you know, we're trying to start it a little slow. But yeah, I could maybe also move Myrmidon, move the game text to its own thing as well, because the game text is a big chunk of it too. Yeah, the game text on its own. The game text on its own is like, yeah, it's like 2,000 lines or so. It's almost 2,000 lines. Yeah, almost
Oh no, this
2,000
time
lines,
it's trash.
just the game, just the dialogue for when you play a video game. Well, Devolver has kind of a standard set of languages they usually translate things to, and we're just probably going to do all of those if it makes sense, or if it turns out that like translating ends up being prohibitively expensive because it's just a huge game. Um, then maybe we're gonna take a smaller, a smaller subset of languages. But yeah, we'll see. But yeah, we're just starting with one, and then we'll see from there. Well, I don't know which would be like I know their usual set of languages they translate things to. I don't know what's like the subset they would go for if it's really expensive, and so they want to be a bit more limited. So I don't know. I don't know what that subset is. I mean, I can tell you guys what the larger subset of like the usual languages they do are, because I was working on the Katana Zero port, so I had to deal with that. So I had the list for that. Let me see. So I think yeah, the usual languages they go with are um Japanese, Korean, German, French, Spanish, Brazilian, Portuguese, Russian, simplified Chinese, Italian. I think some of these were, if I remember, some of these were added for the Netflix version specifically though. So after that, there's Polish, Turkish, Spanish, LATAM, and those last three, or maybe also Italian. Like some of these, I think, were not the usual languages that they do, but because it was going to be for a Netflix version of the game, I think Netflix has their own languages they always want for localizations or something, and I think that they were like added for that. So those might have been, so maybe Italian, Polish, Turkish, and Spanish LATAM. I'm not sure if it. I'm not sure if Italian was part of that or not. I know like the last few ones in the list were added like just for Netflix. Um, so I'm not sure for Italian, but I know for like I'm pretty sure Polish, Turkish, and Spanish LATAM. That's Spanish Latin America. So it's just localized for for American Spanish, which I guess yeah has a different localization. Um, Yeah. But yeah, so the earlier ones I said, I think those would be like the usual languages, but there might be like a smaller subset of them that we go first if that we go for first if it turns out to be like really expensive. We might just be a bit more careful and do it more progressively instead of all at once. We'll see. Hey, Rodux, how's it going? Yeah, Netflix has games, yeah. Thanks for subscribing, Rodux. Appreciate it. But yeah. So yeah, we're starting with the simplified Chinese, and then we'll see from there. But yeah, so I'm thinking the things I'm gonna separate from the whole is maybe the video games. The video games might be on their own set. And maybe the character talk. Yeah, maybe the character talk. Because, yeah, that would be like, I think all of these things together would make up about half of it. I think that would make up about half of the dialogue. Yeah. Yeah, let's make some notes on that. Let's make some notes on what. Yeah, for how I extract the dialogue. Let's see what happens if I do that. Let's see what the result looks like if I try to separate these things. If it makes sense or not. Um yeah, well, I guess I'll be doing a little bit of the spreadsheeting live. And we'll see. So I think the party member talk here might be a good one to separate. So what I did earlier, like I said, is separate the map sets of the different floors to their own things. Here I'm extracting. The troops is another one I'll need to figure out something for, because that is another huge chunk. Like I could at least remove the like the door knock encounters, but that's not like. I mean, that would be a large chunk because the door knock encounters are just a small portion of all the encounters in the game, but they have more dialogue than the rest on the overall. So that might be a good chunk. Hmm. Okay. So extract common events. So there's the common events. So I'm thinking I'm going to separate so here's the promises here. So we have games, that is 21 to 40. There is The party member talk. Party talk, that is 122 to 139. There is the chatting with your neighbor. There's not that much text there. Like there's some, but it's not that crazy. There's this. That's like something else. There's the dinner talk. Dinner events. That is 160 to 166. This is all the different like random events. But also, I should add the Rad Babies talk to this as well. Yeah, Rat Child. Oh shit! I'll need to remove this. Okay, I'll need to make a reminder. I need to extract this here. All of this text here needs to be extracted. I knew I was forgetting something. Yeah, I need to extract it like right now, or I'm gonna forget it. Yeah, all of this stuff with the Rat Baby, all the Rat Baby's actions. That is still just as just strings sitting there. That is no good. I need to move this to an external file. I have added a new external file just for that called other data. This is where I added a bunch of custom text, like custom random text. Just random text here. This is where all the Dan chatters are. All the Dan chat stuff is here now. All the usernames and all the what every character says. There's some completely random lines and completely random usernames. There's also alternate lines for when the chat is going mad because you're on the roof. There is the unique chatters that have their own specific things they say. So these are like, these are these are the recognizable characters that show up again and again in the chat. So these are the global ones that are always the same, no matter whether you're on the roof or not. Then you have those that are different. That are different if they're on the roof or not. Then you have the creeps. The creeps. So these are disallowed on certain characters. And then we have the special donations. And then the descriptions of difficulty for the guy that tells you how difficult an enemy is. And then also how it describes whether an enemy is close to death. And then the word they use for the different damage types. And then miscellaneous things. But yeah, so this is the kind of thing I need to extract out of this. And there's some more here. There is some more right here. Let's see. Yep. The Devour messages are in there somewhere. Yep, Devour Joel, Devour himself. Says there's custom messages for when he eats himself. If he's confused. It's very also specifically if something else is devouring. That's because some characters can copy Joel's move, and because of that, sometimes another. Listen, sometimes there's a lot of Oh, that's a fun random line there. I've devoured my whole family, smiling face. These are probably some of the rarest. These are probably some of the rarest dialogue lines here. The dialogue lines almost nobody finds there. I've killed so many. I can't stop killing. Please help. I have a mouth in my mouth. That feel when you have a mouth in your mouth. So yeah, I forget how you actually grab these here. What's the syntax for that? Oh, it's just this. Other data. Neat. Neat. There's a few like sort of jokes hidden in plain sight in these that I'm sure a lot of people haven't noticed. Like one of the roof messages is from, yeah, there you go. That's one. Did you see me? I'm the big blue tentacle thing. That thing is a is a Dan chatter. That's right. Was in the chat the whole time. Yeah, the big blue one. No, no, it was meant to be like the one that looks like a giant like jellyfish tentacle thing. Well, you don't know where its head is. That's the problem. Let's see. How do I get not concat? It would need to be. Yeah, it's one of Dan's skills. It's a Dan skill where he asks his chat for advice on a monster, and then you just get to see like a bunch of his chat. Like it's like you see like a snapshot of his chat, and there's a lot of funny things they say. And the part of it is that it goes by really fast, so you barely have the time to register what they're saying. So that's a good way to put in a bunch of fun jokes. Um, yeah, that's one of the problems with making this shift to localization here is once localization has like a lot of languages, obviously any update that has new dialogue now becomes more complicated because now you need to localize all the new stuff as well, or it's just breaks. So it adds a lot more steps to getting an update through. Um, what like that, but that's like normal. Like people normally can't update a game willy nilly like that. Like a like a big game project. I've been kind of on easy mode on my big game project because it was only one platform basically and only one language. As soon as you get out of that realm, things get much more cumbersome. Yes, the more dialogue, the more viewers he has, um the more useful that it is. The more useful that the response is, because some information only shows up if he has at least a certain amount of viewers. Um, but also there's way more like garbage that fills the stream with it. You can probably find like a video that shows polled chat. I'm sure you can find yeah, dance chat, there you go. Oh yeah, or orange posting. Orange posting shows yeah, orange posting shows off that a bit. There's beg for money. Yeah, poll viewers is the one. Poll viewers. There's 19 viewers right now. Hey, Damnation, give me the scoop on this thing. What do you think? Yeah, there you go. See? So, a lot of it is like kind of random. Some of it is funny. Some of it is actual information. There's one particular guy that just gives you random bullshit information. An entire vat of blood. There's some creeps in there. Yeah. Oh, there was a bug that Safety Tum always says not even worth your time, IMO. Um, but that's just the bug. It should be fixed now. You should now actually give you a general idea of how difficult it is. This is Eye Shoulder, level 5 mutant. Tells you the resistance, the item drops. And yeah, there's some characters like the judge who just says guilty or innocent. Also, some people just randomly share things about what's happening to them. This guy is weak to alchemy. Gamers, I need your help. Oh, nobody's watching. Yeah, so you do need to have at least one chatter. The judge is like what he says is completely random. Um, it would be funny if there was like it would be funny if the judge like decided on like in a very arbitrary way whether a character is guilty or innocent, so that if you ask the same character, like if you ask about the same enemy, it's always the same answer. So it makes it seem like there's an actual logic behind it. But it just looks like if its max HP is, divisible by 5 or something, or like it just checks it checks if its strength is an odd number or something like that, like something completely. Yeah, enemy ID exactly. Um, so that way it would seem like there's a logic, but there isn't. Yeah, yes. Yeah, the trans chatter is definitely a favorite. Yeah, that's the Dan chat. The Dan chat thing was really fun to make. It was really fun to make. I mostly made that like in one night. If you remember, if anyone was around, and if you remember, I was like, "Oh, I have a really oh, I have an idea. That's a bad idea, but I'm gonna do it." This is Rat Child action. And yeah, I'll do this. Nap. Thumb. Foot. Blankets. Feet. Tail. Some of these might not be unique. Blocks. Cooing. Yeah, the stats they say are true, except one specific guy. So the guys that give you the stats, they're always the same usernames. Um, they're always like like the guy that gives you the like enemy like life um and stamina is always like heartbeat or something. His name. Um, Beating heart. That's the one. That's the chatter that tells you about like basic enemy stats. Um, and if you see someone else, that's probably made up. Okay, so cooing, clanging, pencils. Ripping. Gnaw toy. Gnaw tail. These are all the random things that the rat baby can be doing. Cower blanket. Claw floor. Funny faces. funny sounds, babbling, imaginary, observing, play toys. Okay. Play blankets. See. Okay, that should make them all unique. And now I can copy paste them. Hmm. Okay, so that should add all of these, and now... Oh, there's also... looks hungry. Looks skittish. Smells awful. Looks skittish. Okay. This is how Look Outside breaks you. The game that breaks people. Sitting quietly. Okay. Okay, now I need to get the text replacement stuff. I forget what was the thing to. Was I using replace for that? I don't think so. Oh, it was format. It was format, I think. Yes. Okay. It's format and then. Okay, yeah, that works. So that would be. Other data. So other data dot ratchild action dot sitting dot format and then name. So that's the, yeah, that's how this works. This is how it looks. First one is nap. Let's just paste all of these. Oh, I do have music. I should put some of that. I should put some of that on. There we go. Okay, so it looks skittish, smells awful, looks hungry. Play toys, observing, imaginary, babbling, funny sounds, funny faces, claw floor, cower blanket, gnaw on the tail, gnaw on a toy, ripping pieces of cloth, pencils, clanging, cooing, playing with blocks, playing with his tail, playing with his feet, playing with a blanket, sucking on its foot, sucking on its thumb, and having a nap. There we go. So that should work. That should now remove all of this text. There's still some more here, but that's the part that's automated. Let's move all of that in. Move more missing text from common event scripts. Okay. Yeah, let's return to what I was doing just a bit earlier. So the dinner events and also the rat friend interaction. So dinner events would be 160, 166, and 96. That would be for the dinner events, because that would include all the rat friend interactions, because these can happen on dinner, although they happen in other cases too. Maybe I could mix all of these together. The games, the party talk, and the dinner events could be all set aside as a group for, like, basically, like, special events at home, you know? That could be all separated. That would remove probably half. That would probably remove about half. Yeah, that would probably remove about half of the dialogue from the common events and split into two halves. Let's do that now. Let's figure this out right now. So I need to extract the common events into two places now instead of all in one place. So I'm going to just copy paste this. Ugh, nah, they're all like that. This goes over all of the common events. Do the common events know their own index? Or are they just listed in order? I don't actually know. Let's see. Let's see if the common events know their own index or not. They probably should. Yeah, they have an ID. Okay. They do have an ID here. Okay. So I could have event set. So this goes over every event and all of this here. Okay, so I could separate everything that's in here. I could have like an extract event function extract event. and that would be include home events. Event, and then include home events. Okay. And I think I would just take all of this. Yeah, I think I would just take all of this. And move it here. Yeah. I had to tangle with a lot of stuff that I'm not familiar with by messing with this. I'm really not used to like asynchronous logic. I've never, I've just have not had to do this by I have not had to deal with asynchronous logic much with like GameMaker. There's some stuff that's asynchronous in GameMaker, but not much. It depends. Like, I mean, like if I was making multiplayer games, I would have probably touched it more. But you know, generally, it's just not something that comes up very much. So I've had to sort of learn a lot of that today. So this is going to be extract event. Okay. And over here, this is just going to run extract event. Okay. So I'm going to do process common event set. And then it's going to do this twice, I think. Maybe I'm going to declare this over here. Okay. Dinner events. And then extract common events, other events. True, and the other one, false. Also, probably New Day. Yeah, New Day sleeping would also be included here. So that would be 3.
Oh no, it's time to
6 and 9 would also be added there. These are like sleeping and coming back home related. So these are going to be the home events. And that's going to be like most of them. That might be too many. I might remove one of these if it like groups so many of them that I'm still ending up with like a huge pack. Because the whole point of this is to just separate this, to split this up into more manageable chunks a little. All right. I'm gonna go make me some tea, and I'll be right back. I'll be right back. The purple Frankie creature. The purple Frankie creature. You mean this guy? I can't tell you. I cannot tell you its name. Maybe call it Schnoz or something. Maybe call it Schnoz for now. That's a mystery guy. May or may not be an evil guy. It's a mystery guy. From Malison. Some sort of mystery man. It's an evil guy. Evil guy, evil guy, evil guy, evil guy, evil guy, evil guy. I think there's a way to have. I mean, there's too many indexes. I don't want to add like an array of all the indexes to avoid. That would be kind of tedious. That'd be too many. So I'm gonna make like. Thanks for dropping by, Legendary Difficulty. I don't think we're gonna be making the plant a companion. Don't expect any more companions. The game is more or less done. I'm just making some tweaks now. Just making some tweaks and balance. And now working on localization and all that. It's gonna be patched, but there is a little bit of extra stuff, but it's all like there's a few rebalanced skills. There's a few new skills for characters that didn't really, like Pepino didn't really have enough skills, so now he has new skills. That's kind of content, but it's it's not really something I would call a content update. It's not really enough for that. Okay. Yeah, I'll just do that. So these, there you go. So this is going to tell me if these are the party talk, these are the games, these are etc. Okay. If ID and include home events. Actually, I need to check if these two are equal. If they're not equal, that is, then I do return. Do 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 da 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 da. Okay, let's see if this works. Let's see if this separates the common events like I want them to. Before this, I'll commit all of that. So, oh, also I had a BSOD earlier because I made a mistake in this. So I could have a crash. I could have like a sudden crash that just shuts down the stream. Maybe I should actually wait for after the stream to test this in case this happens. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I made this here, but I'm only gonna test after the stream. Yeah, let's avoid something that could just disrupt the stream like that. Yeah. Yeah. Let's keep going on bug fixes for now. And now I've done, the thing I wanted to do, and I'll just test that after the stream. I think that makes more sense. Now, let's not tempt fate. No need to tempt fate. Let's keep going on bugs. Okay, you can skip talking to Mr. Henderson after he's been attacked and asks you to come over by going his bedroom and bathroom. Huh? This sending you to the next stage of his apartment? What? You can skip talking to Mr. Anderson after he's been attacked, and he asks you to come over by going into his bedroom? Oh, you mean like you can just not talk to him at the end of his event? I think that's what they mean. Let's go test. I'm not too sure. Oh. Does it feel wrong? Does it feel like a bug? Let's see. Yeah, I could add something to block you. Yeah. Hmm. So yeah, you can just actually go here. Yeah, you should basically just he should just scream at you if you reach over here, basically. That would fix it. Yeah, I can just put up something right here. Yeah, let's do that. And Lord attack is 229. There you go. That looks better. Mm-hmm. There you go. Oh, right. You're right. You're right. Wait. I actually give him... Okay, miscellaneous 0. That's the one. Whoops. Oh. Wait. Oh. I copy-pasted the wrong one. There we go. There you go. That's fixed. And also, let's fix that you can search his fridge. All right, that's fixed now. Hmm. All right, so these two are fixed now. Lay hunger isn't reset when Lay is kicked out, and allowing her to rob your fridge without being there. Okay. Would that be that she's robbing your fridge when you come back home? So that doesn't check if she's still in your. Hmm. Yeah, it must mean that she's still. Lay fridge raid. What? Okay, yeah, this does not check if she's still in your party at all. Yeah, it just doesn't. Let's make it check that. Wait, actually, hang on. Wait, no. The reason is that she's not. Hmm. Hang on. Okay, now all of these actually use recruited lay. So that's 34. Okay, so I should be able to use recruiting lay as a check here. And was there also one on a new day or after you sleep? I wonder if it would be from sleeping or from. This one actually does check if recruited lay. This one actually does check, yeah. So on sleep, that should not have happened. It should have only been when you return home. Yeah, this one's already checking. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's all the more important new bugs that came up. Let's go now into the UX bugs. Hot Cocoa's description. Right, that's something I added accidentally recently, right? Yeah, there you go. Drink. Joel has a missing pixel in his. Oh, yeah. Missing pixel in Joel's face. Alas. Not here. I always really like that outro song. Super good. I always appreciate a good instrumental like that. How about something a little different? How about some medieval sounding fucking music from Gryphon? Some medieval-ish prog. Well, their other album is more medieval sounding. This one's more prog. Okay, throwing fuzzy animation shows a placeholder green dot besides one of the legs when thrown in battle. A placeholder green dot for throwing fuzzy? What is that? I think it's just a leftover from one of the other animations. Huh. I should probably change the sound of that too. Ooh. Okay. While Nestor is looking into the pipe with Rafta in it, the player can still interact with the pipe from the sides to talk to Rafta, with her asking, "Where is Nestor? Where is he? Where is Nestor?" Everyone's asking. Everyone's asking, where is Nestor? Listen, she doesn't have eyes anymore. Clearly. She's literally eyeless now. Come on. She's a little nearsighted. There's just gonna be nothing here. Yeah, that should be fixed now. So whenever Nestor shows up, the pipe just stops being interactable from the sides. Simple as. Another possible fix would have been that you have to interact it from it. That you have to interact with it from the front. That would probably be better, actually. Yeah, that would probably be better. Let's do that instead. Let's get the player facing direction. And that would be 6. If you want to remember the... if you want a little cheat sheet on how to remember which number corresponds to which direction, if you have a numpad, the directions on the numpad are the directions of the numbers. So you can look down at your notepad, numpad, and see the numbers there. I always thought this song sounded a little bit like the Star Trek theme. Little bit. It's got a little Star Trek-y bit to it. Barely. There you go, so I can't interact from the bottom there anymore, but I can still interact from here. There you go. There you go. All right. What's next? Interacting with the crossword book in your apartment for the first time will say that you can watch TV to pass the time. Oh, right, but I removed watching TV. That's right. True. Yeah, at one point I wanted to have watching TV as one of the ways to pass time, and like the idea was that there was going to be like a whole schedule of different shows playing at different times. You wouldn't actually see what the shows are like. They would just tell you what's playing. Like it would just say what's playing at the time, and there would be like a different one every time. I think the events for that are still there somewhere, actually. Yeah, TV blocks. Yeah, there was going to be like different TV blocks every day and specific programs. Yeah. But yeah, it didn't actually end up like writing that. It was just an idea. Again, that was also stuff that was like that was also stuff that I like put together when like when I didn't know that the game was going to be like a full game published for money. You know, that was like one of those things that I added together when it was still basically just a jam game I was messing with. Yeah. But yeah, there was going to be some weird stuff to find at specific times of the day. I remember planning an entire thing for like very specific hours at very specific schedules. There was going to be like secrets you can find like by checking at that exact hour. Um yeah. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, you know, there's a lot of stuff you can do. There's a lot of stuff you can do with that. Again, that was part of because at the time I was doing this, I was still thinking that staying home the whole time was still meant to be like one of the ways to play the game. And like right now you can stay home a lot, but obviously the game wants you to explore. Like that's where all the good content is. But there was a time where the game was a little bit more 50-50 on whether or not you should be spending more time like just being in your home or exploring. But over time I shifted to be more and more to your home just being kind of a place you go back to heal up, and there's a few cool things that happen, but the real game is outside your home. Um but yeah, early on, like right after the game jam, this was still a little bit more of a 50-50 thing, so there was way more things you could do at home. But now over time I decided that all these things were a little too much of a distraction. Um, that was just a little too much of a distraction. Nah, I don't want to do a thing where like the game rewards you for actually staying home the whole time. I would do that if I felt like that was actually a fun thing to do, but I don't think it is. There's not enough like things that happen at home for that. Like there would need to be way more things happening in your home for me to like consider that. Hmm. Right, the Hell Sword. Yeah, it's true. It has a little bit of a confusing thing here. Yeah, it deals corruption damage. Yeah, it deals flesh damage. Hmm. Okay, okay. Two more lump uses the wrong icon. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, I did make a sprite for it, I think. Didn't I make a sprite for it? Well, no, the animation and the
Oh no, it's time.
had I actually made a sprite for this? I guess I did not actually make a sprite for it. The throne sprite is made. All right, let's. Is it this? Or is it this? Or is it this? Oh, that's the fingernail bomb. Yeah. Yeah, that must be the tumor Fred. Sure, you can ask a community project question. This is 23. This is 22. Whoops. You don't need to use all 12 now. The community project is due, at the end of the month, so, this week, basically. It's basically going to be this week. Yeah, the 31st or the 1st of August. Mysterious wind. Yeah, I've been very busy these past few days. I'm sorry. I'll spend more time this week answering questions. I've been more busy than I expected. Been more busy than I expected. It's like almost like, yeah, like over 200 damage to all enemies. Yeah. It could probably be a little beefier. I forget if Betty actually has a sprite in here. Betty does, okay. Did I give a unique sprite to the super explosives? I don't think I did. Yeah, there's not a lot of those, so. There you go. That looks like a nasty explosive. Mm-hmm. Had I made one for... Okay, I had made one for the fire bombs, but I did not update the... Well, the name of Dan's game, Slime Cannibal Blood Renaissance, is actually the name of an old game project. It's not the way that he describes it, though. Hmm. Yeah, that is the name of an old game project. There we go. So super explosive, have a sprite now. Now I need to remember all the spots in the game where I did put a super explosive. There's one in the There's one in the sewers. There's one in the war zone, I think. Trying to think of others. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Oh, there's 3. Oh, but one of them is a call juice box. Oh, so actually there's only one that you find. Oh, so there's actually only one you find. Okay. The others are all just obtained and okay, I see. Weird. I thought there was one more, but guess I'm wrong. And it's only on normal mode. It's only crafted in other modes. What about the fire bombs? Is there any fire bombs that you can find at all? I was thinking maybe in the ammo room in the landlord's apartment where there's the oh, in the sewers there's a firebomb, yeah. Yeah, the slug tank. Maybe I was wrong. Hmm. I mean, I always like certain things being mostly only obtainable through crafting. That kind of makes crafting a little special, as long as you don't make the mistake of putting a lot of stuff that should be found through discovery into crafting instead, and now end up with like very little to actually find. The Dawn of Sorrow mistake. Finding like the right balance for making crafting exciting and fun is really tricky. And it's very easy to like turn into something like tedious if you're not careful. There's a lot of little there's probably a lot of quality of life improvements I could make to the crafting system, but I don't think they're super necessary. Like being able to craft 4 or 5 of something might be useful, but yeah. That's one way to make it work. That's one way to make that work. Although finding a material isn't quite as cool and as interesting as finding the cool item itself. Oh, I had already made a sprite for this one. Whoops. But this one now. There we go. Super explosive. Was there one so oh right. Yeah, some of them are in shops, I think. I think I added super explosives and fire bombs to the trickster's shop. I think but that I don't need to edit that manually. I think this was the filth bomb actually. That I think is the filth bomb. Yeah, this is looking like the filth bomb to me. Which you get from yeah. Mm-hmm. All right, but this was a bit of a shorter stream tonight, but like I said earlier, I have a lot of work that I need to get to. So just want to do a few little things before I can just fully focus on these tasks I have to finish. So yeah, that's going to be it for tonight already, folks. It's a bit of a short stream. Yeah, I got to finish some localization stuff for tomorrow, so yep. Oy. Ay. All right, let me see here before I go. Let me just quickly link my Patreon. Thank you. And let's look at someone to raid. Uh, who to raid? Okay, okay. Yeah, not a lot of people playing the game right now.
I don't.
Hmm.
I
All right, sure. Let's do that. Let's do that
I was
one.
afraid. I felt like I was being stabbed.
This is Rubicon Harley. Let's read them.
You don't think?
All right,
I feel a
folks.
bit strange.
Thank you all for
My
watching,
body as the suit begins. Do you think?
and take care.
I think you might be congratulations. I think I can really feel it. I think this is me. Wow. Every furry's fucking wish. You got it, man. You got it, buddy. I am so jealous of you.